Black NFL team has nasty surprise for lone white quarterback who didn't kneel for Anthem. Over the past week, protests within the NFL have metastasized into something racist and vile. No longer are some black players happy to just quietly kneel or sit while the anthem plays, as we're now seeing black players rendering black power salutes after they sack white players, an act that Seahawks player Michael Bennett started last week. But just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, we're learning about the sickening thing that happened to a white quarterback during the Raiders-Redskins game several days ago that's causing a great amount of concern among football fans and could blow up into a massive scandal for the NFL. The Oakland Raiders is the only NFL lineup made up entirely of black players except for their quarterback, Derek Carr, who is white. Carr decided to stand proud and tall for the national anthem before the game, but his entire defensive line that protects him, I would assume, on the field from being hit, decided to sit out for the national anthem. Armstrong and Getty noted on their sports radio program that the star quarterback was not sacked a single time last season, as his defensive line was always there to shield him from getting hit. But curiously, in the game immediately following the anthem protest by the black players, the white quarterback would suddenly find himself without any sort of protection by the players who were supposed to quite literally have his back. So Derek, who is never sacked, was sacked 4 times by the Redskins back-to-back on the second offensive series of the Raiders, the host said. The first series he threw almost immediately was intercepted, so that series was over before it began, they said. Also, 3 times the extremely dependable never does this center. The guy who snaps the ball to the quarterback snapped it before Carr was ready 3 times. He hiked it, and the kids say, into Carr's knees before he was supposed to. To put it in non-football jargon, the assumption here is that the Oakland Raiders purposefully threw the game against the Redskins as a racist and anti-white demonstration against Carr, and the defensive line didn't do their job to protect the white quarterback from being hit as a punishment for his choice to stand for the national anthem. What lends credence to this story is the sickening thing one of the Raiders allegedly told his fellow players said before the game began, when he stated, if he, meaning Carr, wants to stand alone for the national anthem, he can stand alone on the field. Oh, there's your proof right there. So it looks like the black players quite literally made the lone white players stand alone as punishment for standing for the national anthem. Here's a transcript from the sports broadcast that was posted on Thursday, and it's extremely disturbing via the Federalist Papers. If this story is true, you've got an animosity between a white quarterback and a black offensive line that you can't fix very easily, they said. Now, this is getting into paranoia and the fan base and the whole country. They wondered if this was a one-time throwing of the game. So, is this a one-time punishment? Have they gotten together and talked to each other? Or are the black guys in the team not going to block for the white guys? At least for one game, it seems to be a message that was sent, the other host said, maybe it was brief, maybe it was all right. We're going to let him get hit a couple of times, see if he gets the message, but we don't know. There were a handful of drop passes by some of the black players that were really weird. They went on to say, that happens in the NFL all the time, but then the other stuff came up, they said. The host then said their inside source, who is extremely reliable, claims the game was in fact thrown, which could go on to be a disastrous scandal for the NFL. They have a huge danger warning buzzer going off right now, because if this happens on the Raiders, it could happen on any team as different decisions are made, as times are divided. When a reporter asked a team official about this, the host said they would be blackballed. And here was the original picture this article had, and then they changed it, and they're not showing, see, his face, the player that's standing, his face, where he has his head down and his hand up, and he's standing, and they have the black player staring him down to say, like, what is he doing? And they changed the article because this showed, like, and they've cut it, like they've diminished the picture very much so. They cut the head off of the player that's standing. You see what I'm saying? It was originally showing his full face, and clearly the way the player that's looking up at him was giving him the stink eye, so to speak. Do you see what I'm saying? They changed it. This act of racism is not only hateful, it could have caused severe injury to the quarterback, as he could have gotten easily injured without the protection of his so-called teammates. Later in the broadcast, TV host Bill O'Reilly pointed out that it's illegal to throw a game and the players could go to prison for what they've done. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. My thoughts are, this has gotten out of hand. It's disgraceful in this day and age. And all should be fired for this. Basically, just start with a clean slate and interview the players how they feel. Because if this is taking place, it's disgraceful. Like I said, in this day and age, it's disgraceful. But we have Obama to thank for that. And Al Sharpton. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.